Welcome back to ciLiving. Sydney Oliveira has been a regular guest on ciLiving for years now, and I wanted to take this opportunity to get to know her a little bit better. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks again for having me.
All right, so tell me about your journey to the U of I Wildlife Medical Clinic.
Yeah, so I went to college down in Southern Illinois at Carbondale University, and then I volunteered at a rehab center down there in Carterville, Illinois. And so then when I graduated from college, I actually worked at the St. Louis Zoo for about 14 years, and then moved back to Champaign, where I'm originally from. And so that was just to be closer to family. My husband got a job at U of I. At that time, I started volunteering at the Wildlife Medical Clinic, and then I worked as a large animal caretaker at U of I. And then I actually ended up moving to a different department on campus, and then when this position opened, where I'm currently at as program coordinator at Wildlife Medical Clinic, I applied and luckily got the job. So that's kind of how I fell into where I'm working now.
And that was sort of your journey. And
yeah.
What was that little deviation when you went to the other department?
I went to chemical and biomolecular engineering, and I learned a lot more about like the office kind of policies of U of I and like purchasing, different things like that. So it kind of made me more well-rounded. So I had worked at vet med and got experience there, and like I really like working with animals. That's been my whole career. However, I was working as a nighttime caretaker, so having kids and just having work-life balance, it was difficult working the night shift, so that's why I switched to Chibi at that time. And like, I didn't know if Wildlife Medical Clinic, I didn't even know they were going to have a position open. So
sure.
I just was kind of moving where I needed to move at that time. And then when that opened, that's when I like stepped back and I was like, no, I want to go back to working with the animals.
Right.
But it gave me a lot of good information about working at U of I and learning their policies and procedures and things like that. So,
sure, that makes sense.
So it made me fit into that role a lot better. So
exactly. Well, and did you always know that you wanted to be in animal care? Or, I mean, like if I had asked 5-year-old Sydney, what are you going to be when you grow up? What would you have said?
Definitely. I wanted to be a vet at one time, but then when I started volunteering at the rehab center and then in college, I really liked the animal behavior and hands-on like daily care of the animals. So a lot of that, I fell in love more with the husbandry and like learning about the animals and working with them daily. So, but it's really nice because now like I get to see a bunch of vet procedures at U of I, and when I worked at the zoo, I got to see a lot of vet procedures. So that was really cool too. So.
And speaking of learning, you have an event coming up this weekend, right?
Yep. Yeah, so we have the Vet Med Open House, and so that is a free event from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you come to the Basic Science Building off of Lincoln Avenue, they kind of have like the best path to go through, I think, there, but we have our Clinical Skills Learning Center open, part of the Large Animal Clinic, and then our ambassadors will be out and on display there too. So I think at random times they're going to bring different ambassadors out for you guys to meet up close and personal. So.
And I feel like the clinic is such a great place, and you've given us so much information about what to do if there's bird strikes or animals that you can find, things like that. How did you get so involved in like the community outreach?
Yeah, so I mean, just this position and getting to meet people when they request like different programs and going out. I think I did like a tiny library tour over the summer. I went to all the different libraries in the area, which was really cool, and learned about what they were doing and a lot of events in the community and just meeting different people that way. And then when people come in and drop off animals, you meet them that way as well. So yeah, just getting out in the community as much as we can and meeting as many people as we can. And I will say, like, I've loved all of the things that I've done, but the wildlife clinic is really cool too, just because you get to see those animals come in, you get to see them go through and get healed, and then you get to release them. So I recently, I brought in a bald eagle, they healed it, and then I got to release it, and it was just so rewarding to see that like whole process and be a part of it. So.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.